Sorry, the reason I'm laughing is because there's another request from my dear friend Efree. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, PayPal is usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. The links are down below in the info box, and that will be either down there or to the side there. And again, I'm laughing because, like I said, my dear friend Efree was very generous and sent in paid requests for 5 films that involve the martial artist Bruce Lee with an L-E. Bruce Portation's star that I grew up with because I first saw Bruce the superhero when I was a kid and thought that was the actual Bruce Lee, because I didn't know, because they didn't have actual Bruce Lee films where I was around. It was a small town in Iowa where the only way you get movies is at a gas station, unless you went like 30 miles or more actually across the border of Minnesota to get to a place that's actually decent. Even they didn't have much Bruce Lee stuff, so I would hear Bruce Lee. Oh, that's Bruce Lee. I was found out years later that's not the actual Bruce Lee. But anyway, I reviewed the Super Game thanks to Efree. That was an awful, awful movie. Easily the worst so far of these films I've seen. It was terrible editing. Bruce Lee dies at the end. I already ranted on that. That was a horrible film. Cold Blooded Murder was the second one, and that's not a good film. It has a lot of issues. Carter Won, who was Thunder and Big Trouble in Little China, very underused. The melding of martial arts giallo. I don't mind that melding, but it could have been a lot better. Sadly, I think it could have been a lot worse. It could have been the Super Dane, but it could have been a lot better. So it was worth a watch for me at least once, but I don't think it was a film I would ever watch again. I think I just wasn't as bad because the ending wasn't as horrible as the Super Dane. But anyway, but it was still not good. But anyway, I have 2 more after this. But this was more my cup of tea. This is what I'm talking about with how these Bruce Portation films, they could be fun. They may not be high art, but it's kind of like how some people view slasher films. Not I like slasher films, but there's some that just gobble up every slasher film, for better or worse. Bruce Portation films is becoming that sort of thing for me. And I do have these 7 films, the Game of Clones set. I'll show that more when talk about the next 2, because they're on the set. I hope there's a volume 2 of that set by 7 films, and if so, if somehow they see this, you need to put this movie on that set. The Ninja Strikes Back, also known as Bruce Strikes Back. Because once again, it stars Bruce Lee with an L-E, which is my favorite of the Bruce Portation stars. I do like Bruce Lee with an L-I. But Bruce Lee, I'll call him, he seemed the most gung-ho, whether it be in Bruce's superhero or my favorite, Enter the Game of Death, or these other, in this, he just seemed like he was the more, just, he loved it. Like, he was a sucker for it, he was gung-ho for it, he didn't hold back, he had that energy. It was kind of infectious to me, and I just always liked it. It felt like he was the most into it. Like, hey, this is the gimmick? I'm going to go with this gimmick. And then some. Like, he didn't hide away from it, or he didn't shy away and didn't feel embarrassed by it. And maybe I could feel that, and that's why it's a bit more endearing. Also, probably nostalgic, because again, the first one I saw of any Bruce Lee was Bruce the Superhero. But yeah, the Ninja Strikes Back. I know I'm 5 minutes in. But, I mean, a film that's got a ton of topless women. You got teleporting ninjas. You got Oddjob, the actor from Goldfinger, who played the henchman Oddjob with the hat. He's in this, and he has the hat, and he even throws at one point that's stitched to something. He has a gold hand, I just because he was in Goldfinger, and each time he pops up, the James Bond theme. Not only that, but at one point the Goldfinger, I kept singing Goldfinger. So anytime it pops up, James Bond's music pops up. Bolo Yun is in this because it seems like every other film Bruce Lee is in, Bolo's got to be there. Of course, Bolo Yun was in Bloodsport and Double Impact with Jean-Claude Van Damme. So you got Topless Women, you got Bolo, you got Oddjob, you got James Bond music, you got music from Enter the Dragon. That pops up a few times. More Topless Women, Teleporting Ninjas. Someone gets decapitated and he stops in a freeze frame. There's a fight near the end where once or twice you see that Sonny Chiba kind of X-ray where someone gets punched and it cuts to like the Mortal Kombat X-ray, like a bone breaking. With all that little stuff added in there, and they go on a lot of locations in Rome and Paris. Yeah, the plot is flimsy. There are parts of this film you say were rather pointless, like when they go to Paris. There's a whole section they go to Paris. You could have taken that out, and it really would not affect the story. In fact, it felt like something they added afterward to just make the film longer or add a bit more action. But at the same time, they go to a porno film studio, and Bruce Lee has a fight. There's like 2 times he has a fight with people, and the story is this ambassador's daughter has been kidnapped, and she's tied up I think both times she's topless too. At least one of them she's topless, she's tied up, while Bruce Lee has to fight these bad guys. I went, okay, I know what this film is, and I'm down for it, and I'm enjoying it with a smile on my face. And in the cast, there's literally an actress named Chick Norris. Not Chuck, Chick Norris. I don't know who the hell was Chick Norris, but I really want to know now who the hell was Chick Norris in this movie. Chick Norris? What the hell? I mean, from the beginning, where it's like Casio keyboard disco style, reigning the supreme of the opening. Now, the story is that Bruce Lee is working with these gangsters, him and his buddy. We first see him playing cards. Someone cheats him, so he beats the hell out of everybody. And I'm trying to think, when did we're not at the credits yet. So him and his buddy get this job to bring this briefcase for this meeting. They get screwed over. A fight happens. Bruce Lee beats I'll just call him Bruce. Bruce beats up a couple people, but he gets wounded in the leg. He tells his buddy to run. He goes to jail. And then that's when the very trippy credits happen, where it's like Bruce, but it's like still images in rapid succession to make it seem like movement, but it's all still images and this funky background. And the music is like a bit of Enter the Dragon, but also other music, like Enter the Dragon, but then disco music kind of merged together. I'm just loving it. I love this intro scene, this credit scene, this trip. This is '82. It came out, so disco had not died quite yet. So you have a bit of disco and a bit of kung fu music. So when he gets out of jail, two things happen. One, he wants nothing to do with the bad guys and his buddy. He is reformed. They don't like that, so they try to take him out. And also, the ambassador's daughter has been taken, so they're trying to get him hired to find the ambassador's daughter. And at first he's hesitant. He just wants to live his life with his girlfriend, until ultimately he does, for $50,000. And throughout the film, it's them going from A to B, kicking ass, taking names. Yeah, the martial arts scenes are not going to be like a Scott Atkins movie nowadays, or they're not going to be as humorous as Jackie Chan. They're not going to be as intricate as what you would see in, Donnie Yen's Yip Man or any of the sort. But simple fashion, fisticuff kung fu. I'm a sucker for that stuff as well. And like I said, Bruce Lee, at least he's gun ho about it. Are there mistakes? Sure. I mean, the opening scene when, like I say, he got cheated in cards. There's a bit where he's on the side here. Actually, he's facing this way, and there's a guy here, and he punches, but you tell the fists are about this far away. So it's like, two, 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 and the guy's reacting. I'm like, just move the camera like a little bit here, which they do in the other parts of the fight. But that one bit they decided to go here was like the worst mistake because you see the punches don't connect. So there's still mistakes in there, but definitely much more competently made compared to the Super Dane and Cold Blooded Murder. And maybe even that mistake adds to the trashy fun of it all. Like every couple scenes, there's a topless woman. I'm not complaining because I like them. And like I say, pretty much at least every 10 minutes or less, like a slasher film. Hopefully every 10 minutes there's a kill. Here, every 10 minutes or less, there's a fight scene. Whether it be he's with his girlfriend at Rome, and he gets attacked, and he fights some of them off, or he's in the hospital, and a hitman tries to kill him, and he takes him out pretty quick, and then finds the guy's car and takes those guys out too. Like I said, it might not be, the heyday of, Chuck Norris or the outro Bruce Lee in terms of the fights, but in its rough way, it was still fun to me to see. Now, to get more into spoilers, there's a point after he's almost killed in the hospital, he goes with this inspector to go to Paris. This is what makes me think this was added after the fact. Like maybe they looked at the film, they said, hey, it's a bit too... Either this was supposed to be for later on, or they added it afterward, because they go to Paris to find some guy named Jean-Pierre. A lot of disco music, including a song called Disco Magic. They go to a porno film studio, they fight. Bruce fights this one big guy who can barely move, but Bruce kisses the shit out of him. They find Jean-Pierre, who's backing out with a naked woman. Get in a foot chase where they get on a train, and the guy has a kid as a hostage. I found it hilarious that as he's got this kid hostage with a knife to his neck, the passengers are like, like nobody is scared. Like look at the if you ever see this film, look at the passengers on that train. They're like, they're reading a newspaper. Yeah. I guess just a regular day. I don't know. Maybe that's how it is in Paris. I don't know. And then they get off the train. They find the guy. Bruce beats the hell out of him a couple times. And then he doesn't really know anything. Then he gives a piece of info. Then they leave Paris. That's what I mean. Like, you could take the whole section out, but at the same time, I'm fine with it being in because, I don't know, I get to see Bruce kick a bit more ass, and I'm fine with that. I mean, Enter the Game of Death is literally about 80 minutes of just Bruce going around beating people up. But maybe that's why that's my favorite. Sometimes you just want the simple joys in life. Here, there's maybe not as much ass kicking as Enter the Game of Death, but there's a lot more nudity and a lot more topless women, so that's a plus. And apparently they have to go to Macau because the ambassador's daughter was taken by ninjas. Now, granted, I guess there's only one ninja. Although I thought in one scene there were multiple ninjas. But I say that because Bruce only fight. I'll explain a bit. This is where we're introduced to Oddjob. I forget the guy's actual name. I'll look him up real quick. I got a computer here. It says Sonata. I'm bad with names. Harold Cicada. Harold Cicada. Who I think passed away the year this came out in 1982. But yeah, we're introduced to him. And we're also introduced to Bolo Yun. And you see Oddjob manhandle Bolo and say, "Get away from this girl. This is our... We need her because we need to get the money from her dad. And we need to do this and this and this. So get the hell away from her, Bolo." And yes, he does have a metal gold hand. Bruce then goes home to look into his parents, which I thought was a bit weird because I thought we were... Actually, before that, he's on a beach, Bruce, with some topless women, including his girlfriend, and a sniper kills his girlfriend. He does beat up a couple people. Sally doesn't get the sniper guy, but he does beat up a couple people. And since his girlfriend's been killed, he says, "I will help you, Inspector." Granted, he was already helping him because he went to Paris with the guy. That's why I'm wondering if the whole Paris thing was shot after, or if that scene was meant to go after. Because, again, Bruce says, "I help you." I'm like, you were helping him. That's why you went to Paris. And yeah, I just laughed that any time you see Oddjob pop, they put up the James Bond music. But Bruce goes home and he finds out that his dad's been killed. I know, now you're thinking, wait, where did this plot come from? I know. It's just in there now. And a buddy of his comes by and pretty much tells the story about how his dad was killed by Oddjob. Bolo was there as well, but Oddjob killed him. And so his buddy and Bruce go to Bruce's father's grave. While at the cemetery, there's ninjas. And they teleport. They literally teleport. Now, I thought there were two of them, and I think there were two of them because Bruce is fighting one and then his buddy's fighting the other. But then Bruce only kills one later on. And you're wondering, well, what happened to the other ninja? Unless we're meant to think that ninja kept teleporting back and forth, but I don't think that was the case. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway. Those episodes going, oh wow, now we got teleporting ninjas. Okay, this is, I'm like, the topless women and quite a bit of fight scenes and Oddjob and Bolo. Now we got Bruce, like, Bruce is trying to fight and the guy teleports out and then tries to teleport behind him. And then the rematch later in the film is even better. There's another bit where Bruce and his buddy go see this guy who's I actually forget who he is. But after they talk to him, the guy walks, and then this ninja attacks him, and he's getting beat up, but he's like doing all these poses. Okay, come and get me, come on! And the ninja comes and decapitates his sorry ass. And not only that, when he decapitates, there's a freeze frame that shows the decapitated head. Then later on, when Bruce finds that ninja, he sees that guy's head on the ground. So a little bit of gore there. And fights this ninja. I'm like, wow, now Bruce is fighting a teleporting ninja. And while the ninja's getting some hits in. At least the title didn't lie. There is a ninja in the movie. Now, granted, that title makes you think there'd be a lot of ninja in the movie, but at least there is a ninja in the film. And by the end of it, Bruce beats the hell out of him. Which I love when this Bruce Lee does it. He really does do it. Again, I love this Bruce guy here. Like, he's really gun ho about it. I like his energy. I know the Flying Ninja 1 who wrote this book. Actually, right here. John Beckett is his name. Which, I don't know if he talks about this movie. No, because this is the 70s. I know he said he's working on the 80s one. I'm sure that's going to take a long ass time. And even this is more of the Western martial arts, so I doubt Ninja Strikes Back would be in there anyway. But, yeah, I would definitely recommend this to him. I'm sure he's seen this, but if he ever sees this, hope you're doing well. And I do wonder if he mentions this movie. Just, it's been a bit since I read this. But it's not in the index, so... Unless it's under Bruce Strikes Back. So I just want to check... No. But anyway. Hey, if you ever do a sequel to this, man, make sure... You definitely need to check this out and put this in there, man. Teleport ninjas, decaps. Oh, and not only does Bruce beat beat the hell out of the ninja, but he does that. You see this in action films back in the day. The guy's out of it, and he takes the guy's head and goes, just pushes it, so the guy, and the body falls back. Like, get the fuck on my face. Him and his buddy double team to kill Bolo. They rescue the women. I don't know what happened to his buddy afterward. His buddy kind of disappears. We never see his buddy again. Or his sister, because his sister is one of the people that were kidnapped. I just were to assume maybe his buddy took the sister, they ran off. I don't know, ran to get naked in Tahiti? I don't know. We never see them again. Because instead, Bruce has to go rescue the ambassador's daughter. So he's got to get to this boat where Oddjob and his men are at. Oh, before that, him and his buddy, they double teamed to fight Bolo. Now, Sally's not a long fight with Bolo Yun, so that's a bit disappointing. I wish there was a bit longer fight. And Bruce doesn't really fight much of Bolo, the other guy does. And then Bruce does like, duh, 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 and then kills him. So, kind of like Cold-Blooded Murder, this Bolo gets taken out a bit easily. Kind of wish it was a bit longer, wish there was a bit more to it. Which I think there's a longer fight between those two and Enter the Game of Death, which was nice to see. But Bruce does fight Oddjob. Oddjob throws his hat that almost hits Bruce, and the hat gets stuck into a piece of the boat. During the fight, I love the fact that Bruce does this and chops the guy's hand off. The golden claw hand. Chops the guy's hand off, and you see blood coming out. It beats the hell out of the guy. And you tell the guy maybe he didn't quite want to fall into the water. Like, he hesitates, but then Bruce has to just push him off. And then the funny thing is, like, while this fight's happening, the ambassador's daughter is, like, tied to the boat like this, and I swear her titties are out the whole time. Unless it was my imagination running from me. And then he saves her and they get back. And then she gets taken again. Which I swear she's tied up again. Which I don't know if she got untied now that I think about it. Let's see, do I almost... Damn, I don't think I have it on my computer now. Because I'm trying to think, like... Did he untie her at one point? I would assume so. God, I'm trying to remember now. He does beat up a couple other people. Now I'm, like, tripping. Let's see. I wonder if this is on YouTube. I have to look real quick. Sorry, I should have done this before. Okay, yeah, it is. So let me just give me a minute. I just want to make sure that I'm not tripping. Okay, yeah, she is topless, naked on there. She is topless. Okay, she's not topless the second time. Yeah, Bruce fights a couple people in the ruins of this Colosseum, which I'm sure is inspired by Way of the Dragon. With Bruce Lee and Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris. So yeah, the girl is tied up to a pillar, and then jumps down to fight more guys. He did a bit of nunchuck fun, which was nice to see. It's always nice to see nunchuck fun. Right, I would love to see longer. There's a guy with size, but he gets his ass kicked. He's not Raphael from the Ninja Turtles. And then, like, this is definitely inspired by Way of the Dragon, where, again, they fight in the Colosseum. And yeah, you never see him untie the girl. It's just the two of them fight. Kills the guy. He goes to the ground because he's a bit tired. I just wonder, man, that girl's probably still tired going, Bruce? Hello? Bruce? Are you there? Did you fuck off here? Bruce? I think I forgot that part. So that's really, it's not, let's say this is not high art, but it was fun. Fights the guy, he just beat him a bit, but he's able to get his... I like that, like, when he's ready to do the comeback, the Enter the Dragon music pops up, and that happens twice during the last fight. He just beaten up, then he, like, charges back up, able to get some punches in. Then when he gets beaten up again, yet again, Enter the Dragon music pops up, he charges back up. He even does try like the Bruce Lee when he isn't ready with the shoulders, and you see the back of the shoulders. Dun, dun, dun. Trying to do the Muhammad Ali with the feet rope-a-dope, and he's beating the hell out of that guy, and that's where you get the X-ray where you breaks the guy's leg. You see the X-ray bone break animation. And then there's a bit where he hits the guy, and you see animated rib cage. And he takes like a 2-3 ribs and pulls it out. Like you see this animation of it. Now, granted, when it comes out, it's just like a piece of the shirt. But the way the animation goes, as if I wish they would have added that somehow. I wish they would have had, like, he was holding 2 rib bones. I don't know, they could have gone from, I don't know, some butcher, or cow, or something. Well, is a cow rib cage? I don't know, like some bones, some butcher, or have a little bit more in the special effects and make fake bones. That would have been the creme de la creme of that. And then you see like the animation of the bad guy's heart, tum tum, and Bruce screams ah, and the heart stops. Like Bruce's intensity just made this guy's heart to stop. That and probably those missing rib cage and whatever. And so Bruce like slumps to the ground tired, and the movie's over, and I'm sitting there going like, what about that lady who's tied up? She's like, hey, can you get me down? But that's what I mean, like it's not perfect, of course. But man, it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch. I haven't seen Challenge of the Tiger yet. That's another request. Enter the Game of Death is still my favorite. I'm talking about the Bruce Exploitation films I've seen. I would say Enter the Game of Death is number 1. Soul Brothers of Kung Fu with the good ending, or I should say the more positive, happy ending, because there's 2 endings, depending on which version you watch. That would probably be number 2. God, I gotta think about which ones I've seen. This would easily be in the top 5. Easily in the top 5. Game of Death 2 would be in there as well. I really enjoy that film. In fact, I don't know. Maybe So Bros Kung Fu would still be number 2. Does Game of Death 2, I'm not sure, like the opening of the film, like the first 20 minutes, But after that, it gets really good. I especially love the finale of Game of Death 2. I wish that was available separately on Blu-ray. Because there is a Blu-ray, but it's on the Arrow Video release of Game of Death 1. I'm like, I don't like Game of Death 1. And those Arrow Video Blu-rays are expensive, but it's like, maybe one day I'll pick it up because I do want the Game of Death 2 disc. But anyway, who knows? Maybe one day. Anyway, this would definitely be my top 5 Bruceploitation films. And Bruce's Superhero will probably be in there as well, just for nostalgia reasons, but who knows. The more I see, maybe Challenge of the Tide will be in there, maybe not, we'll see. The Dragon Lives Again, I vaguely remember that one, but I'm curious to see that on this Blu-ray because it's cleaned up. I'll rewatch that sometime. Anyway, I'm going over the place. Like I said, this is a fun one for me. I quite enjoyed it, as you could tell. Thanks for watching. Take care. Thanks to my friend Efree once again. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.